You finished your tax return, and the number staring back at you is not a refund. You owe the IRS money, Salm, and you don't have it. Here's what most people do in that moment. They close the laptop, tell themselves they'll figure it out later, and don't file. That is the most expensive mistake you can make, because the penalty for not filing is up to 10 times higher than the penalty for not paying. I'll say that again. Failing to file costs you far more than failing to pay. So whatever you do in the next 7 days, do not skip filing because you can't pay. This video is going to walk you through exactly what to do, step by step, before April 15th. Subscribe if you're new. This is what we cover every week. And quick note, this is educational information, not personal tax advice. Your situation is unique, so always verify with a licensed tax professional. Let's get into it. The IRS charges 2 separate penalties when things go wrong. The failure to pay penalty is 0.5% of your unpaid balance per month. The failure to file penalty is 5% of your unpaid balance per month, up to 25%. If you don't file and don't pay, both penalties stack on top of each other, plus daily compounding interest. But if you file on time and just can't pay, you only face the smaller failure to pay penalty. That difference is enormous over time, and it's why Step 1 is non-negotiable. Step 1. File your return by April 15th, even if you can't pay a single dollar. You do not need to attach a check to submit your return. Filing costs you nothing if you owe money. Not filing costs you a penalty that compounds every single month until you do. If you genuinely cannot finish your return in time, file Form 4868 by April 15th to get an automatic extension until October 15th. You can do this for free in 5 minutes at irs.gov. No explanation required, no income limit. But remember, the extension is only for filing, not for paying. What you estimate you owe is still due April 15th. Step 2. Pay whatever you can right now, even if it's not the full amount. Every dollar you pay before the deadline reduces the balance that penalties and interest are calculated on. Even paying half of what you owe cuts your ongoing penalty and interest charges in half from day one. You can pay instantly at irs.gov using IRS Direct Pay. It's free, it pulls directly from your bank account, and you get immediate confirmation. You can also pay with a debit card, credit card, or digital wallet, though cards carry a small processing fee. Step 3. Set up a payment plan before the deadline. The IRS offers 2 main options for individuals. A short-term payment plan gives you up to 180 days to pay the full balance, and there is no setup fee. This works well if you're expecting a bonus, a freelance payment, a tax refund from a state return, or any cash inflow in the next few months. A long-term installment agreement lets you pay monthly over a longer period. If you owe $50,000 or less in combined tax, penalties, and interest, you qualify for what the IRS calls a simple payment plan. Here's something most people don't know. Once you have an approved payment plan, your failure to pay penalty drops from 0.5% per month to 0.205% per month, cutting your ongoing penalty in half automatically. You can apply for a payment plan online at irs.gov in about 15 minutes. Log in or create an IRS online account, enter your balance, propose a monthly payment amount, and submit. Most people get immediate approval. You can also call the IRS at 1-800-829-1040, but expect long hold times this week. Applying online is faster and has lower setup fees. Step 4. If you're facing real financial hardship, know that you have more options than a standard payment plan. The first is called Currently Not Collectible Status. If paying anything toward your tax bill would leave you unable to cover rent, food, or utilities, you can request CNC status from the IRS. If approved, active collection actions like wage garnishments and bank levies stop. Penalties and interest still accrue, and the IRS will apply any future refunds to your balance. But it buys you breathing room. The second is an offer in compromise. This program lets certain taxpayers settle their tax debt for less than the full amount owed, based on their income, expenses, assets, and ability to pay. Approval is not guaranteed. In fact, most applications are rejected. But if you're in genuine hardship with no realistic path to paying the full balance, it's worth investigating. The IRS has a free OIC pre-qualifier tool at irs.gov where you can check your eligibility before applying. Step 5. Fix your withholding so this doesn't happen next April. The most common reasons people owe are gig or freelance income with no withholding, multiple jobs where each job under-withheld, a raise mid-year that wasn't reflected in withholding, and life changes like losing a dependent or getting married. The IRS has a free tax withholding estimator at irs.gov. It takes about 20 minutes, and it will tell you exactly how to adjust your W-4 so the right amount comes out of each paycheck going forward. Do this after you've handled this year, so next April looks different. Here's the summary of everything you need to do this week. File your return by April 15th, or file a free extension, even if you can't pay. Pay whatever you can before the deadline to reduce your penalty base. Set up an IRS payment plan online to get the reduced penalty rate immediately. If you're in genuine hardship, look into currently not collectible status or an offer in compromise. And then fix your withholding so you're not here again in 12 months. The IRS is not going to show up at your door on April 16th. But ignoring this makes every month more expensive than the last. Take one of these steps today, even a small payment, even a payment plan application, and you immediately change your trajectory. If this helped you, subscribe. We cover tax and legal situations like this every week. Share this with someone who needs it. The deadline is April 15th. You still have time.